So we are seconds away from Friday Night Smackdown. Hello again. Welcome back. I'm Joshua Hale Fialkov. I'm so excited to be here. Um, I guess because there's a thing saying it, we're gonna give away another copy of. We're gonna give away another set of my Batman Brave and the Bold comics. I should probably say that somewhere. Let's say that. Twitter.com. Nope. Nope. You can turn that off. Let's see. Let's see. Let's tell everybody on Twitter. Even a t-shirt. Twitch.tv/wrestling with story. All right, we are live with Smackdown. Before I realized I wasn't actually live, I was talking. I was talking at great length. Oh, Sola Sokoa. We do need to acknowledge you, Sola Sokoa. We do need to. Why are we not online? There we go. We are live. Looks like we're actually working now. Got people watching over on YouTube. We're going to be giving away some t-shirts and some comic books. Just so you know, I got coming out next week. I was the writer of the last 3 issues of Batman Brave and the Bold, and 3rd issue comes out this coming week. And I got some comics I'm going to give away, so hang out with me if you are here the entire 2 hours. I will check in at the end, and we'll have some comics to give away. So stick around and watch with me. Let me know you're here. Sound off in the chat so that I know that you're hanging out. And we will see what we can do to get you some free comic books. And we're in our little recap package from SmackDown. It's very nice to see Cody getting his butt kicked and Randy showing up as they're setting up Randy to eventually turn on Cody. Oh, Jacob Fatu. That Jacob Fatu is really something to write home about, isn't he? I had a really interesting week this week, guys. So I did a video about Monday Night Raw and the Wyatt Six stuff that got a very big but very negative reaction from the internet wrestling community. And I'm sort of fascinated by it because I actually mostly said really good things about how much I liked it. I just commented there was a couple things I think that they were really sloppy with, and people went berserk about it. It was very weird to have happen. But on the upside, I grew my network, I grew my channels quite a bit because of it. So welcome to everybody new who is now following me, and everybody new who's watching. I really appreciate it. But it made me really think about, number one, the sort of toxic nature of the internet wrestling community, number one. Number two, like, what role we play in it and how to not do that. So I went back and actually, like, it's funny because I realized that a lot of what people were reacting to, ooh, Cody. Cody, everybody, it's Cody. We're just going straight out the gate. It made me realize that a lot of what people were reacting to was actually the title and the thumbnails. And so I actually went in, I redid the thumbnails and the titles, and the reaction actually totally reversed. What's interesting though is that it actually, like, in general, it just got like a venomous response from the people who saw it. It wasn't like it went viral and did really well. It's a little bit strange. It's a little bit of a weird reaction. But that being said, it was interesting to watch because people are just so vitriolic And then you combine that with the reaction that people had. It got pretty weird, to watch like the reaction people had to Dynamite on Wednesday. I was live streaming and we had a really great turnout for the live stream, but then there was uh, there was a couple guys who were just mouthing off about how crappy they think Dynamite is and how the match was crappy, how that MJF the MJF Osprey match was crappy, which is just functionally insane. Like I don't really care how much you don't like AEW and Tony Khan or anything. Like that match was just exceptional. Like it just flatly, categorically was exceptional. Um, and if you're saying that you didn't think that, then you're a liar and you're just saying things just to say them. Um, so yeah, it was really something magical, and like it was weird to me the level of venom that everybody was having. Um, but I guess it's not that weird ultimately, right? Like it's not that surprising because there is just so much negativity that you're seeing. That is Terrence. He's a boxer. That guy's gonna punch somebody in the head later tonight, is my guess, because that is what happens on SmackDown. I don't know who that person is. I frequently find myself shamed for not knowing more about sports when I watch WWE and AEW to a lesser degree. Cody, 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 Cody. Wow, it's a good crowd. What do we got, Cody? What do we got? Oh, they're in Omaha and they're that loud. Wow. I got the air conditioner pumping in here because it is stinking hot, so I apologize for the extra room tone that we're getting. Oh, Randy Orton. Randy Orton. Doesn't have a good chant, I find. And yet he is still over. Welcome to our friends. We got friends over in Twitch and over in YouTube. Welcome, guys. Let me know you're here. We're giving, we have a giveaway that we're doing of some copies of Batman the Brave and the Bold, which I am the proud writer of. And we are watching SmackDown here on a Friday night. I like that he calls them this bloodline. It's very insulting. Very, very insulting. You know, I love how thick they're laying on what is eventually going to be a heel turn for Randy Orton. Lil Solo Sokoa. Lil Stinker Solo Sokoa. Oof. It's still true. I was watching something that they were talking about how, like, of course he's not like as good as Roman because he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be like Solo, that is. Solo's supposed to be, you know, like a like a second class, second rate version of Roman. The problem with that is that he's not just like a second rate version of Roman. He's just like a awkward, not like he like doesn't deliver on those promos. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh dear. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? It's so weird that the what chants have come back so loud. Oh, I hate the what chants. Kevin Owens gonna come out? Are they gonna give Solo the night off and do a? Weird, weird segment. Where did he get the chair? But where did he get the chair? But where, like, did he just have an extra chair? He just brings it with him? Oh yeah, we get Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade tonight. That's gonna be good. That's exciting. All right. So yeah, oh look, CM Punk's coming back. Oh, little CM Punk. Do 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 do. So yeah, like I was talking about, yeah. So it was weird. So during the Wednesday Dynamite, we had a decent audience, and everybody was very into the match. But then there was a couple people who were just mouthing off about how much they didn't like the match, and I was really shocked by it. But then, you know, the more I thought about it, combined with this like harsh, crazy reaction I got to posting about the White Six stuff, and sort of dawned on me just how toxic the like rivalry has gotten between WWE fans and AEW fans, and that I sort of found myself standing in between the two. And it's a weird place to be because I think I'm very I'm trying to think what the word is, because apathetic isn't the right word, because I love both companies equally. Agnostic, I suppose. Like, I'm very agnostic. You know, like I like both companies in different ways, but I like both companies equally, and I think what they do is really important. And I think that they should both exist. And I think that it's like super important that AEW exists, and I think that the fact that that WWE is doing so well right now and putting on such great product is part of why AEW is doing better product now, and why we're getting better shows, and why you would even get a match like that 1 hour Osprey versus MJF match that we got on Wednesday. So like, the reason that we have any of the like uh you know exciting, fun, brilliant wrestling TV that we're getting right now is because we have both companies, and that people don't seem to recognize that or even see it is just so bizarre to me. And I find it sort of heartbreaking, to be honest. Like, it makes me really sad because, like, we should be allowed to like both things, and we should be allowed to enjoy and you know cheer for both things. And not only that, we should be allowed to criticize both things. And I think that we're not really allowed to. I think that we're allowed to like be a fanboy for one or the other. Um, and that's not great. Like, that is not a great way to be. Like, we should really be allowed in a very practical way. We should really be allowed to like and enjoy both shows equally. Um, or at least I should. I don't care about everybody else. Everybody else can do what they want to do, but I think I personally should be given that freedom, um, because that's the freedom I want, is to just be me, and I do. So, like, I take it and I look at it as my responsibility. Doing what I do is to try and talk about both companies in as honest a way as possible, but also in a way that doesn't, um, that doesn't, I don't know how to put it, that doesn't run them down, but also looks at them critically, and talks about what could be better and what could be done in a more efficient, effective way to make a better program. Because I think, first of all, that is the concept of the channel. That is literally, what we're selling. Ooh, Mark Henry. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? I just think, but yeah, I mean, to my point, sorry, I got distracted by Carmelo Hayes being delightful, like he does. But yeah, like, I just think it's weird, and like, having worked for Marvel and DC, I've seen what the like, what the tribalism looks like, um, and the sort of sadness of it too, right? That like, it just doesn't accomplish anything. Because the truth of it is, and like the real like bottom line, sorry, the real bottom line is that we all want the same thing, and we all sort of hope that we can just tell stories. Oh, look at them giving him all that fog. I guess they have the fog machines now, so they might as well use them. Um, I think like at a in just like a very basic way, the industry needs to have as much competition in it as possible. That competition is going to make for better shows, better wrestling, and better competition for the wrestlers. Like the wrestlers are going to be making a better living and a better life. And maybe that's where like I think about the animosity that like guys like Cornette and Eric Bischoff have, and I don't know, like I find it interesting because I don't exactly know where it comes from, and I'd like to know, like I'd be interested to find out where it comes from. Oh, Andrade in Mexico would have been amazing. Oh, who we got checking in? What's up, man? Welcome. Welcome, Tipsy. Thank you for joining us and hanging out. It's Smackdown. Where are you checking in from, Tipsy? We're doing a couple of things tonight. Number one, we are talking about, obviously, what do I mean? I mean, like, literally, where are you? What place are you in? What physical location do you exist in? Are you in America? Let's start there. Are you in Spain? That's what I mean. No. Are we going to play 20 questions? Because that'd be weird. You're not in America. Oh, man. So where are you? I don't think I'm going to guess. I think guessing might take me too long. Because there's a lot of places you could be. Um, you're Germany. Awesome. Very cool. Very nice. Very nice. I have friends in Germany. Um, and family, I suppose, technically, but that's a long time ago. Um, so yeah, like we're doing a couple things tonight. If you we're talking about SmackDown, obviously, and on top of talking about SmackDown, talking about all the weird animosity that is going on in the internet wrestling community right now. We're also at a commercial break right now. And I find it to be disheartening, to be honest, because without all of these competing companies, without the competing companies talking about putting out great wrestling of all different types. And here's the thing, like, even if, uh, even 100% if you hate AEW, let's say you think AEW is just it's like, gives you, it's like having people sneeze in your eyes at all the time, right? Let's say that. At a very simple baseline way, it's really good for the actual wrestlers because it's giving the wrestlers negotiating power on their contracts, right? And so that's a good thing. Like there's no world where that is not a good thing, where you should not be, where you like wouldn't be rooting for that, right? Like it's making their lives better. So it's making the lives of the people who you are watching improve. And as long as we can at least agree to that, which I don't know how, maybe I'm small of vision. Maybe I just have small vision and that's the problem. But I don't think so. Like I think that's a universal truth that we can all agree to, is that that is an absolute 100% truth. That's right. Yeah, exactly. Hold on, let me put you up on the screen. There we go. I can make you, let's make you go. There you go. Made you flash up on the screen. Yeah, like, and that's the thing. You don't have to, like, and that's the thing is, like, you don't have to like the product, but you have to recognize that it is really good for the industry at large. And that the reason that we're in the renaissance that we're in right now, because this is definitely a renaissance, the reason that we're in the renaissance that we're in is 100% because 100% because um, of AEW. Like, we would not be in the situation that we're currently in if it was not for AEW existing. You know, AEW coming around when they did helped to push, you know, the quality of WWE back to where it is now. You know, I don't think there's anybody, I would argue, I can't imagine there's anybody who would argue that WWE wasn't in a creative slump prior to AEW coming around. You know, and if it wasn't for AEW, I don't know that we would be in the middle of this amazing period where we're just getting hour upon hour upon hour of just masterful, masterful television. And look at that. Why was that in the break? What are we doing, guys? Why are they hiding that from us? That should be, that is gorgeous. I hope for the West Coast feed they fix that, because that should be on TV. I mean, they're not going to, because that isn't how it works. But man, they should, because that was gorgeous. I really hope they give Andrade a push, man. I think he's so goddamn wonderful. Like, and, you know, I've talked about before how now that they're moving to the Netflix age and they're going to be international, I hope that they can get over the language barrier stuff and they can start letting people cut promos in their native language. Oh, I don't think Fox ever will do picture in picture. I don't, because the way that prices work for advertising just doesn't means that it just doesn't make sense for them to do picture in picture. Sadly, yeah. That being said, like AEW does picture in picture for every commercial break almost, and it drives me crazy. So I'm not wild about picture in picture either. Um, and generally, like WWE is pretty good about scheduling and knowing when they're on camera and when they're off camera, so that they don't do stuff like that where you have an amazing spot that happens during the break. But Andrade is just, he's so immensely talented. Just an immensely, immensely talented wrestler. Like, he moves so good. He sells great. He's got everything. His only handicap is that he doesn't cut promos in English well. You know, so like let's let the guy cut promos not in English. And I know that right now I would guess that the reason why they don't let him do it is that, you know, Fox doesn't want captions, doesn't want subtitles on primetime programming, because that's just how networks think, you know, and like that's just the reality of network TV. Um, but I hope that in the Netflix age, I would move personally. Like if I was booking it, I would move. I would move as many of the non-English speaking talent over to Raw as possible and let them start cutting their promos in their native tongues, so that you could have Shinsuke Nakamura back. So you could have Shinsuke Nakamura back. Yeah, exactly. You can have Shinsuke Nakamura cutting promos in Japanese. You can have Io Sky cutting promos in Japanese. Like, just let people speak the way that they speak. And I think you're gonna get way better promos, and you're gonna let you're gonna let this talent do really well. I mean, you have Stephanie Vacour. Like, how long are you gonna keep Stephanie Vacour? Like, are you gonna keep her in NXT until she learns to speak fluent English? Fluent English? I don't think so. I mean, that seems like a crazy waste of time and money to me. You know, and like clearly they see that she's got the talent because they had her on. They had her going over on. They had her going in Mexico City. Oh, it's nice for them just to have a banger. Just to put like, I mean, it's sort of a little bit barely a feud, but I don't mind because I just like seeing Andrade wrestle, and I think Carmelo's real good. You know. Uh oh. Hey, good for Andrade. Yeah, I hope they. I really hope that they let Andrade uh, start to actually build and have a little more of an angle going for him. Yes. Yeah, I'm glad they let him keep it going too. I'm glad. I think he's just so exceptionally talented and I really like he's got a great look. He's got a great like move set. Like everything about him is just so good. He is I know you said Tipsy, I know you said that you don't like AEW, but his run in AEW was sensational. He was so good over there. When he left, I know he left. I know he was originally a WWE guy, or he was a WWE guy. And I wouldn't go with originally. That's good. That makes up. That was a weird. We had a weird start with the Cody Rhodes versus A Town Down Under is a weird choice, but you know we'll take it. So who's my favorite current who is still active? Um, I think at WWE, I gotta be honest. Like I guess it's probably a cliche thing, but I love Cody. I think Cody is a real delight. I think he's exceptionally talented. I think he's great on the mic. I think that he's gonna have a hell of a career that's gonna last a long time. Um, so I like Cody a hell of a lot. Um, of the women, um, I'm a big Chelsea Green lover. I love Chelsea Green. So that's over in WWE. Over at AEW, I love MJF to death. I think MJF is a generational superstar, a generational anomaly almost. I think he is. Uh, I think MJF, wherever he eventually ends up, I know he's going to be in AEW for a while. But I think like when the day comes that he ends up uh, in WWE, which I would assume will happen eventually at some point, he's going to be absolutely amazing. You like AJ Styles and Asuka. I get that. I like Asuka a lot too. I'm a big fan. I liked her in Japan as well. I find like what she did in Japan and sort of like what she um how she I'm trying to think how to say it. What she did for women's wrestling in Japan is really pretty impressive. She was really something special over there. And I like AJ Styles quite a bit. I was watching because while I was doing some editing last night. I was actually watching old TNA pay per views, and I saw one of them was I got to watch some old AJ Styles, and he was delightful. Little young AJ Styles is always a delight to me. I like Malachi Black quite a bit. Oh, for their women in AEW, I would highly recommend looking into Willow Nightingale. Um, she's another one who feels if you like WWE, she's very WWE for me. She's got a ton of personality. She's got like just a great like she's got a great feel and vibe to her, um, and she's great on the mic, and she's amazing in the ring, and she's a real powerhouse. And there isn't really anybody like her. Like there isn't really an equivalent to her in WWE, um, or anywhere really. I can't really think of who she's like per se. She's very unique, and I like she's an indie. She was an indie star before, but she's very much an AEW original. Oh, the commercials, guys. They always get me. The commercials always get me. So yeah, I think we're off to a good start for a change. It's not bad. It's not a bad. Like we had a great opening match. I'm a little, like I said, I'm still a little. I mean, I guess you need to have Cody do something other than just fight the bloodline. So I get that you need to have Cody do something. I think the A Town Down Under thing is a little bit weird. But you know, they do set up the nice mystery of who's going to be his partner. So I'm curious to see what they do and who they go with. I don't really have. I mean, Kevin Owens, but I think Kevin Owens is still off because he's dealing with family stuff. Uh, so who else? Who are they feuding with? But it needs to be somebody, right? It needs to be somebody. Oh yeah, good. Yeah, that match was great. Yeah, Willow is fantastic. I was really bummed out that they gave Mercedes. I mean, it was that match was sort of a foregone conclusion that Mercedes was going to win, but I really, really was bummed out that Willow had to give up the title so soon. I think she's probably telling the truth right here. I think she is probably 100% correct. Yeesh. Oof. Oof. Yowzers. It's a little close to home. Oof. Oof. I like when they do the. I like when they do the truth. When they do the truth promos, even when they're mean like that. Because man, that was mean. That is very, very mean. Yowzers. Yeah, that is painful. That is painful to watch. Man. God, I love me some Chelsea Green. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. Yeesh. Oh, I can't believe we're back to commercials already. I mean, they aren't really doing anything though. It's like they haven't used them for anything, so you know. So I guess it makes sense. Like they're just sort of placeholders. Yeah, they're good, man, but like if you're not going to use them and they don't seem to have any use for them. I like it's a weird choice. It was a weird choice to give it to them in the first place, you know? Like I get that they gave it to them I guess because they were home, they were the hometown girls and they had to give them something. Like somebody from Scotland had to win something, I guess, but it does feel like a weird choice. It felt like a weird choice at the time, and now like you're sort of left with the consequence of it, which is like they don't have anything to do with them, you know. Sorry about that. Just dealing with some. Well, I think it's weird that there's only one set of women's tag titles. It feels like there should probably be two. I think more than anything, it's like if you split it across the shows so that you had enough that you could actually build a proper women's tag division instead of having them stuck on, you know, one brand or the other. Because right now I think like you sort of don't get either. You don't get either version. I think you could probably do both, to be honest. I think you could probably have women's titles on both shows, and you could have at least one more women's title. You could have a North Americans or a U.S. women's title or a women's intercontinental title. I just want Chelsea Green on my TV more. That's really all I want because she is magnificent in every way. There's actually, I don't know if you can see her. She's sitting. There's a Chelsea Green. Oh, I think she's blocked. Let me see. She's like right there. She's like right. She sits right there watching over me and guarding to make sure that everything goes well in my life. You really wouldn't think when they put the two of them together, when they put Piper Niven and Chelsea Green together, I don't think anybody was like, this is going to be a fantastic, perfect comedy act. But man, are they a perfect, fantastic comedy act. And like, it helps that they're actually great in the ring together. Like, they are just a remarkable tag team. Carmella and Green was indeed good. But I like that Piper's getting screen time because I think Piper Niven is pretty spectacular. Oof. Ah, oh, I don't like that. That was like a 2-minute Chelsea Green match. Why was that match not longer? I think the greatest miscarriage of justice was not giving Chelsea Green that briefcase. I think we've really missed out on things. Would have truly been something magical to have them both. Like, is this the first promo they've cut since they've been champions? Like, they've shown up, but they haven't had a promo of any kind. No. What's up, LA Knight? Ugh. I feel like they have maybe taken getting the numbers that came up showing how much wrestling there was on Dynamite versus how much wrestling there was on Raw to heart because there's a lot more wrestling tonight. I mean, there's not Dynamite numbers. Excuse me. There's not Dynamite amounts of wrestling. No, I think they're gonna try to keep them together until SummerSlam. Or not until SummerSlam, until WrestleMania maybe. Like I would bet that. Show you guys what I'm talking about. There we go. Um, like I think that if Bianca, if not Bianca, if Jade was a little more together, um, like had she not had all those biffs and was it the not Men in the Money in the Bank, but at the Clash of the Castle match where she just had there was just a bunch of like missed spots. I think had she not had all those missed spots at Clash of the Castle, I think maybe they would want to move that story forward. But it feels to me like they probably want to slow it down just to make sure that she's got her feet underneath her and that she's comfortable and like ready for it, you know? That's just a guess, though. I don't know. It just doesn't feel to me like Isla and Alba are gonna get to keep it because like I think that the reality is just that they're not doing anything with them. But I do think you're right. I think that the women's titles in general they're not used well. And I think part of that is that weird thing of like because they're between shows and everything else is so locked down from show to show, that I think like you need to do something with them. Um, you need to have a title per show because that's just how the shows are structured. And so having them where they float between the shows is just like a weird way of doing things. Feels like the commercial breaks are shorter tonight, which is nice. Hmm. Hmm. can't imagine they let Logan Paul keep this title, because what is he doing with it? Mm-mm-mm. I don't know, though. Listen to that heat that guy gets. Seems out of character that he comes out alone, though. Uh-oh. Why'd we cut out? What are they chanting at him? So they're chanting. What were they chanting, I wonder? Other than you suck. I think what you need to do with LA Knight is give him a heel turn. There's too many faces right now. He's not, like, even though he's over, like, he's not got anything to do as a face. Give him a monster heel turn. That's what I would do with him. Come on. Does he care? Into our advertising budget. I just, like, I don't know that we get much. I think what you do, here's how you book LA Knight. This is my solution. You book him like Stone Cold. You make him into a monster. He's running around. He's doing his little stunner that he does to everybody. Like, he should just be stomping the hell out of him. Like, if he doesn't get... He doesn't get anything, you know? Like, that's... Logan Paul is correct, if you ask me. Like, Logan Paul is 100% correct in this. Like, he does not need to be doing this match. To be fair, which former president is he really interviewing? He's interviewing the criminal one. It's true. There's Paul McCartney, Paul Bunyan, Paul Muad'Dib Atreides. He doesn't have much of a spray tan. Mm-hmm. Come on. Oh. Ugh. Hmm. Not great. Is it the most smack talk, Wade Barrett? Yeah, I don't know, man. I would make him a heel. I would make him a heel. Ugh. All right, so we are deep in our second hour. Oh, Tiffany Stratton. The best. I'm a fan, man. I think she's delightful. I think Tiffany is very, very special. She's extremely talented, especially considering she's only been doing this for, 2 years. It's a good package. What time indeed? I hope they get over that bad promo she cut last week. I mean, I'm hoping they did because that was quite a promo. Let's see how she does. I can't believe she has not redecorated it. It seems crazy that she hasn't redecoed it. Like, why would you not redeco it? Yeah, it seems like such a missed opportunity. Like, she has so much personality. Why would you not let that personality come through on the briefcase? Like, she's just so accessory friendly. Why wouldn't you want to have an accessory that just like matched, you know? Seems like pretty obvious to me. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that is just me, guys. Maybe that is just me. Let's see. We back? We're not back yet. So, yeah. Oh, the second hour is always tough, man, because it gets late. It starts getting late. I start getting tired. I did an interview for what's going to be the first interview episode of the podcast today. I was with a good buddy of mine named FJ DeSanto, who's a producer who is a writer, producer. He worked on the Batman franchise. He wrote a bunch of the Transformers cartoons that are on the Netflix, that are on Netflix. Uh-oh. Did I lose connection? Looks like I lost connection. Hold on a second. Hmm. We got disconnected. We are coming back right now. That was weird. I don't know what happened there. No. Yeah, I think the problem is he feels like he should be an active character, and he's super reactive. And I think the way to make him an active character is to make him a heel. You know, like right now, he just everything always feels like it's about people doing stuff to him, and it needs to feel the other way around. It needs to feel like he's doing stuff to other people. She God, Tiffany's amazing. Oh, God, Tiffany's amazing. And commercial. My God, there's a lot of commercials. Oh, man. Oh, I'm fading, guys. I gotta tell you, it was a long day. Oh, yeah, so I did, like I said, I did my first interview for the podcast, which is gonna be up hopefully by Monday. I need to do, I'm not sure how much editing I need to do. I need to look at it. I used new software that I haven't used before. And so I'm not sure how it's all gonna come together. But we talked a lot about FJ's on top of being a producer, writer, and director of animation. He also does weirdly he does commentaries for kung fu movies, which we didn't actually get to talk about, and I wish we did. But he also has been watching wrestling with a particular fascination for the territories and for Japanese wrestling ever since he was a little kid. And so we talk about that, and we talk about he's a big AEW fan, so we talk a lot about what he likes about AEW and the difference between WWE and AEW for him, and sort of how he thinks about wrestling as a producer. So we got to really get into that stuff and go in depth about it. So that's going to be out, like I said, hopefully by Monday. And then tomorrow is Slammiversary, which I don't think I'm going to be live tweeting, but I should be watching. Um, and I'm looking forward to that, mostly so that they stop saying the word Slammiversary on TNA programming, because my God, do they say the word Slammiversary a lot. Oof. She's real good. Would a lesser superstar be that willing to just give up? Because that doesn't seem like part of the job. Seems like part of the job is to kick out all the time. Oh, is she gonna take a face first dive into chairs again? She should have just set up a chair and let her dive into him. Ah, maybe we are getting a new one. Hey. Yeah, it wasn't a bad match either. Yeah, it was not a bad match. Oh, pre-record? Let's see. Having a sandwich. I just love me a sandwich. Hmm. Oof. That's good. His pre-tapes are real good. You know, like when he does a pre-tape, it always feels legitimate and strong and everything. It's just the like in-ring promos are just not there yet. It just feels like a low energy episode again. Maybe he's gonna turn around in the last match again, like last week. Um. The Oodlin. So what do we have left? So we have the Cody match, but that's not going to take the whole half hour. So we got what, one more match? Yeah, when he does pre-tapes, they're good. It's just his in-ring promos are not great. And I don't know that just like maybe he's doing them at the house shows. Oh, I suppose it's gonna be one of DIY or both of DIY. Cody and Johnny Gargano. That sounds fun. It's so wild they called it a shatter machine. So very wild. If you are hanging out, it looks like there's a couple people hanging out on Twitch and a couple people hanging out in YouTube. Chime in, let me know you're here. I got copies of the Batman Brave and the Bold 3-issue run that I did. And we will do, I got one copy, one set left to give out. These are a free $36 value. The last issue of my run comes out on Wednesdays, so I can ship those out to you next week, or I guess after I come back from Comic-Con. And we'll get those out to you as a thank you for hanging out. So just chime in, let me know you're here, and if you're interested, and I'll throw up my email address. You can you can drop me an email, and I'll get them in the mail to you. The BLOODLINE. Weird. I guess it's nice that they're pushing Michin. Like I really thought that they were. I really thought it felt to me like they weren't gonna push her, but they were trying to push her out. But they're actually really using her. There we go. Do 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 do. Oh. I still have to remind myself his name is Kevin Owens and not Kevin Steen every time. To me, he will always be Kevin Steen. Ugh. It's gonna be a long match. Do 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 do. In the throne. All against the run of thee. I wonder if they're gonna do a swerve. I know everybody thinks that it's gonna be Randy that turns on him. I wonder if it's gonna be Kevin. Like after they finish with the bloodline. One last commercial? Probably not. Probably two more commercials. Dooga 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 doo. Oh. Yeah, it's a weird match, man. What a weird choice. Weird choice. I mean, again, like, I get that he needs to have a match with somebody. And I suppose technically Kevin Owens feuded with them a little bit. I love that every time Kevin Owens goes anywhere near the Prime stuff, he smashes it. Oof. He's a one-man army. That Austin Theory's real good. How are there 15 minutes left? What are we doing, guys? And we're back to commercial one more time. Oh, man. So, yeah, like, this is a fine episode, I guess. Not a lot going on. You know, like, they sort of, there's this weird thing that happens when there's too many weeks in between their PLEs because they're so trained. I feel like WWE is like super trained to wait for the PLEs. Like everything they do is about pacing out to the PLEs. And when you have this long between them, you end up sort of like treading water. Because this is at least the second week in a row that's felt like there's not a lot actually happening. Because we didn't really make a lot of progress. Well, like, what is the big progress we made? We already have the match for the women's title set. We already have Cody's match set, and we didn't actually make any progress in Cody's match, although I'm assuming something's going to happen because we still have 14 minutes left. So hopefully something's going to go on. The tag team champs have the week off. They haven't shown up, and I doubt that they're going to show up. We had the U.S. title set up. That was something, I guess. But again, like even that match was pretty much already made. So like we're not really moving stuff forward. So in a world of like everybody criticizing, everybody praising the WWE for story stuff, like I actually feel like this was extremely story light. Like this might be one of the most story light episodes in a while. Like just sort of nothing really consequential happened. This is a skippable episode. And I got to be honest, like I have to, podcast about this, and I don't know that I have anything in particular to say, other than it was a very story light episode of SmackDown. Now I'm very good, I think, at saying that for 45 minutes, but I don't know that I'm actually super up for it, nor that people are up for listening to that, per se. So I might skip and I might not do that. I don't know. We'll see. There we go. We're back. I mean, again, I will give them credit. Like, there's a lot more wrestling tonight than there has been in the past few weeks. Smacking down the prime. I'm telling you, delightful. Well, that's new. Having the results in the corner. Oof. So if we're at like 51 minutes, 9 minutes to go. They generally don't go over on SmackDown, so we got 9 minutes left. Is Joe Hendry going to show up? Because I'd be into that. Again, like, it's good wrestling. It is definitely good wrestling. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know, Parker. I would bet that it'll be sometime, maybe depending on what happens with the Wyatt Six stuff and how big it gets this year. Maybe that'll be part of the reason why to do it for WrestleMania this year. All right, so we got 7 minutes left. So where's the bloodline? There we go. They have really taken to heart the concept of make your last 5 minutes count, especially on SmackDown. Where's Jacob Fatu? Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu. It's like mildly problematic that Jacob Fatu is essentially the entire bloodline now. Like everybody else sort of bumbles around and Jacob Fatu just murders everybody. Like they need it makes it again, it's got this weird problem, and I've talked about this before. Like it makes everybody else seem weak to me. Like I'm glad that it makes Jacob Fatu look awesome, but it really does make the rest of the bloodline seem weak. That like they come out, they all get their asses kicked, then Jacob Fatu comes and gets the job done. Yeah, like I think I get the mentality that I get that he's the wild animal. I hope what they're doing is that they're building towards some sort of split because it just makes sense. Like if you're gonna build Jacob Fatu up to be so strong and nobody else to be as strong and as powerful as him, like that creates a problem in terms of the power dynamic between everybody for me. I just think it's problematic, man. Like I think it's like a problematic way to handle them. Like you need to balance them out. And like right now, like the Tongans seem weak. Solo seems weak. I don't want them to seem weak. I want them to seem tough. Jacob Fatu should be the like cherry on the sundae. But right now, he's the entire sundae. And that's problematic, I think. Maybe that's just me. Well, guys, thank you so much. Um, listen, I was gonna do the giveaway. Tipsy, you were here the whole time. I don't know if you're still here. Tipsy, if you're still here, tell me if you're still here, Tipsy. No, let me see. Let me check. I'm going to throw up, just for 1 second, I'm going to throw up the email address. Oh no, I got disconnected. I can't tell if you guys can hear me or not, because I am disconnected. Oh, there we go. We're back. Sorry, I got disconnected, guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. If you are hanging out, I still got one set of Batman comics left to give away. I'm going to throw up, let me see, I'm going to throw up the email address right now. So if you have been hanging out and you want to get a copy of the Batman comics, you can drop me an email at this email address right here. And I will do my best to get them in the mail to you. It's only good right now. It'll be good for the next 3 minutes. So if you're watching the replay of this, you unfortunately are not eligible. Only if you watch live. I live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Raw, for Dynamite, and for SmackDown. We do podcasts. We do all sorts of stuff. All at Wrestling with Story. You can follow us on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram, all at Wrestling with Story, and you can follow me on Twitter at Josh Fialkov. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It was so much fun. I really, really appreciate it. If you need anything, drop me an email at josh@wrestlingwithstory.com. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We'll see you next time.